What is going on, guys? I am your boy AK,
I am Joe, aka Spanish 85.
and welcome to Hot Takes and Headlocks. This is my boy Joe's show, and I am here as a co-host. And man, I really enjoy doing this with you. So, you know, what do we got on the agenda for tonight?
So there's a a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna just jump right into it, right? So Monday Night Raw,
Okay.
Gunther versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso drops the title. All right. The guy just won it at WrestleMania. He's had it for less than 60 days. Raph, what's going on?
What's
Daniel,
up,
what's
Raph?
going
What's
on?
up, Daniel? How you doing, guys? Appreciate you.
Less than 60 days. Let's less than a full 2 months, and Jey Uso is dropping the big one. He's dropping the title, right?
Yep.
So let's break this down. First off, did you watch it? What did you think? Do you think it's the right call, or do you think that somebody is just making bad decisions in creative right now?
Man, I've heard a lot of people talk about Goldberg this last couple of days, and I just want to shut that shit down right now. First and foremost, man, I understand why, because I guess he insulted him in Atlanta in his hometown or whatever back in the day. I get that. But here's the thing, man, Goldberg is old, okay? Um, Dude needs an oxygen tank just to get to the fucking ring, you know? It, it's not worth it. I wanna be able to hold my memories of Goldberg the way they were, not who he is now. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't push that. I know they had talks about it, but to me, that's just the wrong thing to do. I would not push Goldberg in this sense at all. To me, I don't know. I like to think that you would sit there and you would, because Seth Rollins is the money in the bank holder, and you got all these powerhouses that are behind him. I would really, really love to think that you would give Braun Breaker a chance at um, Gunther, and I truly believe Seth is going to go after John because that is the one title that he hasn't had yet, and we already know that he has made the world heavyweight title what it is today. A champion's belt. Always fighting. So I think he wants something new, something different, and to also be able to bring a new light to what the undisputed title is. Like he did with the heavyweight. So I really think he's going to go with undisputed. But most people, when I say that, they have an argument because it's a SmackDown title. Seth is Raw. Well, I understand that, but things happen, So we'll see. But I do understand it because they are setting something up. I just don't know what it's going to be set up for. You know.
So so first off, I watched it, and seeing Uso lose the title, I was surprised, just because it's a random Monday Night Raw in Phoenix, Arizona,
Non pay
and
per view. Yeah.
not a pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
And like, dude, he just dropped it. What is going on here? I did not think it was going to end in a clean finish. Jey Uso just had a full weekend of a match on SmackDown. He had Money in the Bank, and then he's got Monday Night Raw. The guy is hurting. So if he's going to keep the title, it's going to be in some sort of schmoz, right? Somebody's going to try to cash in. It's going to end a DQ, whatever. But no, he lost it clean. No,
Yeah.
there's no debating it at all. He lost it clean, right? And less than a full 2 months. So it's like, is the Jey Uso experiment as him being a champion completely over at this point? Do they prefer to have him chasing the title? Um, those are the things that I'm thinking about. Or is he not going after the title anymore? And are they going to put him and Jimmy Uso back together and do a whole tag team run again? I would I would not like for him to go back to a tag team competitor just because you invested so much time to get him over as a singles competitor. You know he can do it as a singles competitor. He's got the whole Yeet thing going on. The crowd loves his entrance every single time. Like the Jey Uso experiment as a singles competitor works. They made it work, and then you have him win the title, and now you lose it. So it's like, where do you go from here now? What are you trying to do with Jey Uso?
Well, the one thing that I heard about Jay, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I guess supposedly the one first thing that I heard is he lost the title because he's injured.
Okay,
And now supposedly I guess it might be a rib injury or whatever, but I guess supposedly he's injured to the point where they felt they had to take it off of him. Now that's
okay,
just one thing I hear. Um, the other thing that I will say with Jay, and maybe this might be why, I don't know. I've never heard of this. This is just my take. When we think of champions, whether it be our world champion, whether it be our undisputed champion, you're talking about the all around perfect wrestler, whether that's in the rank, out of the rank, or on the mic. You know what I mean? Jay has everything. He has the crowd, he has the momentum, he has the fans, he has the moves, he can do everything. I think the one thing Jay lacks the most is on the mic.
okay,
He's not a very he's good at promos, but he's not great.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like that, and I think they might have taken it off of him just because whenever you're a champion like John or Seth or Gunther or any of these guys, they can cut really good fucking promos, really good ones.
Yeah,
Jays were all right. So I think maybe the WWE looked at it as you're there, but you're not just quite there yet. So we're going to give you time to just build up your mic skills a little more, and then we'll push you again. Because I don't know if you felt that way, but there was times he felt a little lackluster on the mic during his promos. You know,
is is it just his reign, like his reign altogether, or you're talking strictly
no,
just
just his
his
promos, just
promos?
talking
Okay,
on the mic, just talking on the mic.
okay,
He like I said, he has everything else. The kid can wrestle. There's no question about it. He has charisma. He has the fans. Fans love him. He's not John Cena on the mic though. He's not Seth Rollins on the mic. He's not these big guys on the mic. You eventually work into that. You eventually get there, but it takes time. It takes practice. And he's there. He's just got a little bit more to go. There was times I sat there and we would watch him talk in promos, and he'd take like 2 seconds or a minute to think of something. You could see it, like he paused and you could see
yeah,
him thinking, and then he'd like, no, dude, this is things you need to know right off the bat instantly. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm talking about. Maybe they just feel he needs a little bit more promo mic work before they can push him all the way. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I As far as his run as a champion, you know, it's it's less than 2 months. Like
Yeah.
how much could you do in less than 2 months? Like
Yeah.
he won the title April 20th. It's not even June 20th right now. It's June 12th.
Yeah.
So less than 2 months. Uh he's defended it. He's definitely defended the title a few times, but I don't think they gave him a full line of really enticing competitors to go after it. You're a lot of people say you're only good as the person that you go up against, and as a
Yeah.
champion, they didn't really have him go up against too many people.
I
And
I I get what you're saying there. I do. And I understand it. He's Jay's really young, man. I mean, what, he's 30, 31, something like that. He's not that old, hell, he might be even younger than that. I have no idea, honestly. Um, but he's got a lot, uh, he's got a lot to grow on. You know, there's so many years ahead of Jay. Like there's so many more times he's going to be able to win this title. There's so many more times he's going to be able to break records and do things other people haven't done. You know, um, his time's coming. Don't worry. Like Jay's going to be unstoppable. You know, at one time his brother might have been the big thing, but Jay has passed him crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, Jay will get his time, but when I think of champions, when I think of people, I think of people who have to carry the business, who have to carry the industry, like Mommy, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Gunther. Even I even consider Sami Zayn in that. The fact is, Sami Zayn just never has had that opportunity yet, but Sami Zayn could carry it too, very well, because he has the mic skill, he has everything. He's just never gotten his opportunity yet. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like there's so many people that you can give this belt to, for the most part, that are deserving of it. So I've always been against making someone reign for 6 years or 3 years or 2 years or even a year, man. Like if you switch it every 3 months, I'm cool with it because that gives me a different perspective in a champion
Right.
every time. Seth Rollins is not Jay. Jay's not Seth. Seth isn't Braun Breaker. Seth isn't Gunther. Like everyone has a different perspective. And when I never want to see a reign like fucking um,
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns ever again. I don't, dude. That was boring as shit. 3 fucking years? Are you serious, dude? Like what? What was the point? Every time he came in, we knew he wasn't going to lose. That's not fun to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's got to be a little bit of realism in it.
I was thinking about it, and Jay falls in this very, very unique category, right? Where you have somebody that came from a tag team and broke off and became a singles competitor and became a world champion. Uh, you start to think about who else has done that in the WWE. Uh, the obvious names come to mind, right? Bret Hart, he was part of the Hart Foundation, right? That was a tag team that started off with just him and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Um, Shawn Michaels, he was part of the Rockers with Marty Jannetty.
Yep.
He so you have this very small list of people that broke off from tag teams,
Even
started
Stone
a
Cold.
singles run, and became a world champion. My question to you is: Does Jay Uso? Do you think Jay Uso is on the same level as some of those names there? Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
All right, same level, no, because that's a hard level to get to, man. I mean, you want me to compare him to HBK? That's never going to happen. Unless you've been to 17 WrestleManias and you're the top dog and everybody's after you. Like I can't do that. But as far as what you're saying from comparison, because even Stone Cold, what was Stone Cold before he was Stone Cold? He was pretty. What wasn't he like? It was like ravishing Stone Cold or something. Like he was a pretty boy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. It
Oh
wasn't Stone
yeah,
Cold Steve
yeah,
Austin. It was. It
yeah,
was. You know what I mean? It
yeah.
was something.
In
It was like Pretty Boy
WCW, he
Austin
was
or something. I don't
long
know.
blonde hair. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And he was a tag team, and he broke away from that. And then Stone Cold became Stone Cold. So he is in that. He is in that genre of
yeah.
people. Okay, but I can't sit here and tell you. Sorry if the train. You can hear the train, by the way. I don't know. But I can't sit here and put him on that pedestal though, because you have not accomplished what these guys have accomplished yet. You know what I mean? But when we talk about the realm, oh yeah, he's definitely in that realm, going from a
Right.
tag team to single. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, in my I think you hit it on what you were saying before, where he's there, but he's not really there.
Yeah,
Uh, I think that definitely applies to him, and I feel that he probably would be there if they pulled this trigger
at
much
like what?
earlier. and having him break away from the tag team division to become
Yeah.
a singles competitor. Dude, he's been around in WWE for like 15 years at this point.
Well,
He's
yeah,
been
it's
around
2015, right?
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a
Uh,
minute.
yeah, it's been a while, and obviously you build your way up to that. You don't just come in as a tag team and then you break off like a minute later. No, you're gonna stay here in this box for a while, and then once we see you can do, you start breaking up and you start doing your own thing as a singles competitor. I get that much, but 15 plus years, like that's a long time. You could have had him become a singles competitor much sooner, and maybe we might think of Jey Uso in a different light. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it might have to do something with age, having him become a champion this late into his career.
Yeah. No, and listen, man, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, they've had him all over, man. I mean, the last 2 months, the kid has been in everything. I mean, hell, he helps out John Cena, or no, he helps out Sami Zayn. He helps out all these people. He's running himself ragged each and every week, whether it be on Raw, whether it be on SmackDown, whether it be anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, Jay's everywhere. You can only expect the man to keep up so much momentum at so much time. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, eventually he was going to lose his momentum because you can only wear yourself down for so many people. This is the one thing that I always had the problem with Cody Rhodes. Okay, and me and you talked about this. I like my champion to have some grit. You know what I mean?
Yep,
I'm
that's
not
right.
saying I'm not saying Jay didn't have grit, but bro, I'm tired of my champions trying to be the nice guy, trying to help everyone all the time, dude. That's not going to get you anywhere. In fact, that's going to get you losing the title if you're trying to be everyone's friend. Because you're the one that's being hunted. You're the one that everyone has a target on. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I understand you want to be the nice guys, but in a way you can't be the nice guys. You have to have a little bit of backbone.
100%. 100%. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes, man. Gunther is now the champion. I too have been hearing a lot of talk about how this is how we get to Gunther versus Goldberg. For
And I
all
pray to
we
God they don't do it, man. That'll be the shittiest match ever. I'm not even playing. No disrespect to Goldberg, man, but he's old as dirt, bro. He's fucking old.
there's one fatal four way for the King of the Ring qualifiers that is
Empty.
empty.
You really think it's going to be Goldberg? You really think that? Man, I pray to God they
I
don't.
I'm just
I don't. I pray to
I'm
God
just
they
saying that there's one spot that's empty that hasn't been
don't. I
filled.
know.
Could it be Goldberg? Of course it could be Goldberg. I would not want to see Goldberg steam through an entire King of the Ring tournament to get his shot at Gunther. I would not want to see it that way. Otherwise,
And it's
like
not like they're going to
it's a
let
waste
Goldberg
of a
win
King of the Ring
anyway.
tournament.
It's not like they're going to let Goldberg win anyway. What are you going to do? Have Goldberg beat Gunther and then turn around the next week and lose because he can't fucking wrestle? Are you serious? Like, no, there's no reason for it. You might as well put someone against Gunther who you actually can believe can win. Because ain't nobody believing that Goldberg's beating Gunther.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it just there's no point in doing it because there's no belief in it.
And that's if they're going in that direction. We don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Uh, there's been
true.
no mention of Goldberg lately on WWE programming. It's just where we think this could be going.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, they could insert our truth into that spot.
dude, that'd
That
be awesome. I'd be all for that.
it could be, yeah, it could be our truth. It could be somebody else that
From
is
NXT.
probably getting signed. It could be somebody from NXT. It could be anybody.
You know?
Anybody.
Yeah. I've just heard a lot of shit about Goldberg lately, man, and I'm just saying, hey, let the man rest.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's no point.
You know, we're talking about Goldberg and how that would not be the way to go about things, right? So,
Yeah.
and I feel like not just you and I, but every every uh every talk show podcast about pro wrestling, it's very everybody talks about what is wrong with pro wrestling or what can be done better in pro wrestling. I want to flip flop that for a second, right? Let's talk about what is going on in pro wrestling that is right. Something that they're doing that is going on very well. So one thing top of mind that I saw and I was like, okay, this is awesome. This is cool. I like this. NXT, the debut of, well, she was Mariah May, but now she's being known as Blake
Yeah.
Monroe. Okay,
Right.
seeing her debut, I thought, okay, this is cool. I like that. I like that. Um, on Monday Night Raw, we saw one of the fatal four-ways for the women's. We saw Roxanne Perez win a fatal four-way to qualify for the King of the Ring. I was like, that is cool. I like that call. I'm a Roxanne Perez fan, and she seemed like to be the one that I just had a gut feeling that she was going to win that match. Just a gut feeling. I had nothing else to go by on it, but a gut feeling. So just a couple of things within the past week that I thought to myself, I like that. Good call. That is good in the world of professional wrestling. So what about you? Is there anything going on in the world of professional wrestling that you don't have any negative feelings about, or you think is great?
You know, the one thing real quick that you said that I will say that I do disagree with, and I know you wanted it on a positive thing, but I'll say it on this. Hello? Did I lose him or am I lost? Somebody in the chat? Anyone? Am I the one lagging or is it him? Because I'm so confused right now. I don't think it's me. He left? Okay. Alright, cool. No, I think he's having internet problems. He'll be right back. Um, no, like while he gets here, I'll say this. I really think that Roxanne Perez was, in my opinion, pushed a little too soon. You know, she's only been a part of Raw for like 50 days. You know, um, oh, there he is. Hello.
Sorry about that.
No,
Technical
hey,
difficulty.
you're straight. I was trying to make sure it wasn't me. Okay.
Definitely on my end. Definitely on my end.
So, no, like, I'll give you a negative before I give you a positive. And the only reason I say this is because this is how I feel. And I heard you talk about Roxanne Perez. Okay. I'm not saying she's bad either. And I'm not saying that what happened shouldn't have happened. All I'm saying is, and I told Earl this a couple of days ago, I said, I just don't like people being pushed down my throat. And only being in the WWE 50 days and beating Mommy, beating Alexa Bliss, all these people that supposedly, could have beaten her, like, you just let her win that, and even even the qualifying match, like, dude, Liv was in that, you know. You're telling me that Liv and Mommy can't beat her? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, to me as a wrestling fan, I just feel like you're trying to push her on me too fast.
Okay.
Give her time to get her feet under her. Give her at least a year. You know what I mean? Before we even start talking about trying to even push her into a, a, a women's title match, and not intercontinental. I'm talking the big ones. You
Hmm.
want to send Roxanne to an intercontinental against Becky Lynch or Lyra Valkyrie, I'm all for that because that's where she's supposed to be. That's why you gave Lyra it to give her that step up. But Perez and Stephanie, you're just literally skipping everything and trying to push them in. Dude, there's people that have been here way longer than them that deserve it. You know what I mean? So when you do shit like that I don't like it that much because there's no reason that mommy shouldn't have been in this. There's no reason Liv shouldn't have been in it. Why does Roxanne need to be? Why? Because she's a fresh face? Well, that's for 6 months from now. I'm not worried about that at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it feels forced, right?
It
Yeah.
does. It really. You don't feel that a little bit like she's being pushed heavily. You don't
I
feel
d-
that at all,
they definitely got the rocket strapped onto her right now, especially with her trying
right?
to get into the whole Judgment Day thing. Uh, so I definitely see your point with that. I see
And
where
dude,
you're
you're
coming
doing
from
the
with that.
same fucking thing too. You literally brought Liv in to take Liv away from mommy. Now you're bringing in Roxanne away to take Liv away from fucking. You know what I mean? Like you're literally doing the same storyline over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't think for 1 minute that Roxanne Perez is about to steal Dom's heart and fucking lives out. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't we just do this already? It just feels stale, almost.
Quick pause for a second, just because I'm getting
Yep.
some love for the
What's up, butterfly?
for my Superman shirt. Thank you. I didn't know that today was considered Superman Day.
I
Just
didn't know that
a
either.
just a coincidence for me wearing it. I'm excited for the Superman movie coming out. I'm a huge Superman fan. Uh,
Yeah,
but
no, I like
I
Superman too.
I yeah, as this huge Superman fan, I guess I should have known that today was Superman Day. So that's on
I
me.
didn't know either, so you're not the only one, man.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
okay, so that's your negative. So what's your positive going on today in the world of professional wrestling?
My positive for professional wrestling is I really like the way that they are trying to expand.
Okay.
You know, when Vince had it, yes, we did some stuff, but you can tell Triple H is trying to make this a world renowned business. You know, um, he's trying to make it popular everywhere, and the Netflix thing was a huge thing, I think, for the WWE going forward. It kind of sucks that SmackDown isn't involved because then I could watch SmackDown too. But you know, um, I think from a standpoint though, from the business aspect of aside from some few things, with the R Truth and the Roxanne thing, they are better now than they've ever been for a long time. And I'd have to at least say in the last 20 years. I stopped watching wrestling in probably 2008. I want to say when it really started getting bad and stuff, and I didn't stick through it because one, I got older and I didn't care as much anymore. But two, it wasn't the same as the Attitude Era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fell out of love with it a lot. But Triple H just brought it back for me, man. You know, not only from the stars and the wrestlers that he's bringing in, but it's very entertaining. Like we talked about last week, wrestlers are doing more things. They're doing more acrobats. They're doing more crazy moves in the rings, things that I've never even seen before back in the day. They're kind of revolutionizing it with their moves a little bit, and I'm all cool with that because you're making it more entertaining. You're making me believe that there's more risks in it than what we've previously have been told to believe. Like for instance, let's look at the Money in the Bank. Whenever Penta fucking did his um, what is it, the Penta driver or whatever the hell it is on the steel.
The Mexican Destroyer?
The Mexican dude, no one 10 years ago would even attempt that. You know what
No,
I'm saying? No one,
definitely not.
not a
Nobody.
single fucking soul, because they would have been scared to death of breaking their damn neck. Seriously, these guys don't care. That's shit we haven't seen before, and that's what makes you be like, okay, I'm in. You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Yep.
I like how they've expanded, how they have brought new things in, and they're willing to let wrestlers be more creative with their moves and their characters, and you know what I'm saying. They've definitely opened up that realm a lot more from the creative standpoint.
True, true. Yeah. There's like it's very competitive right now. Like the roster is stacked.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to offer right now.
Hmm.
Like if you're a veteran, like you have to reinvent yourself, in my opinion, just because you got these new guys coming through
Yep.
that can do so much, right? And it
And
puts
they're
them
hungry, dude. They're
and they're
hungry.
hungry.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. You're put in a position where you have to reinvent yourself. You you need to do something different to keep the crowd's eyes on you. Um, someone like Chris Jericho is so good at reinventing himself. You look at all the different gimmicks that he's had, and although most probably don't stick, a lot of them work, man. A lot of them work very well. So, yeah, there's it's it's very much like the Attitude Era right now, where everybody has something to offer. It's a stacked roster, and the main difference though is in the Attitude Era, you could have a 2-hour show and you can have 6 to 8 matches booked on the card that that you would be on TV. Some matches would be longer, other matches would probably be just 2 minutes and that's it. Nowadays, you have longer matches,
Yeah.
but there's fewer matches that are televised. You probably only have 4 to 5 matches on a card between a 2 to 3 hour show. So they've made some changes, but the competition is still very much there.
Yeah. No, man, and you know that the one thing I will give them, man, is the competitiveness of the women wrestling has went up dramatically. You know, we talked a few weeks ago that back in the day, man, women were displayed as sex symbols. You know, in Attitude Era, like Sable and all them. You know, even Trish Stratus, no matter how good she could wrestle, she was portrayed as a sex symbol. You know, she was. You know, and nowadays they're not that way. You know, if you look at Rhea Ripley as a sex symbol, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I think she's hot for goth for sure. You know, like I've never been attracted to a goth woman before till her, but she wears goth sexy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she just does it good. But that's just her. But that doesn't make her a sex symbol. No, that she's a bad bitch, dude. She will kick my ass, and I'm a man.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like she's
Yeah.
not someone I would mess with. So
Oh yeah.
they have done a tremendous job at making women wrestling more men friendly, I want to say. You know, like back in the day, dude, we couldn't watch women wrestling unless shirts were being torn off or, you know, you had a bra and panties match. It wasn't entertaining because they didn't have nothing to offer. I can't say that now.
Nope.
Women have a lot to offer, but you can tell the really good ones compared to the bad ones because there is that big gap to where the men, they don't, there's a very small bottom of men to where the rest of them you can tell are different. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
where women, it is clear who's on top and who's not. You know?
We're in a day and age now where we've already had women main event WrestleMania. We're in a
Yep.
day and an age now where they have a premium live event that's dedicated to only women's wrestlers.
They
There's
have a
no
women
guys.
Royal Rumble, bro. They never had a women Royal Rumble when I was around,
Yeah,
ever.
man.
You know, I mean, they have um dude, they didn't even have a Money in a Bank for women whenever we watched 10 years ago. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yeah.
there was nothing for women. There was no way for women to excel in this business. But now there is so much opportunity. It's not even funny. So I do give them props for that because man they made women wrestling actually entertaining for once. And I'm all for that, man. because I've never thought they should be looked at as sex symbols. Because women, man, some of these women can wrestle, dude. Some of them can really, really wrestle.
Like, is there a type of match or gimmick that men wrestlers have done that women have not tiptoed their feet into yet? Like, I feel like everything that men have done and can do, we've already seen at least one version of that for the women's wrestlers. We've seen Iron Woman matches.
Yeah.
We've seen women fight in a Hell in a Cell. You mentioned Royal Rumble, Money in the
Yeah.
Bank. Like, what else? Like, is there a type of match or gimmick that they have not touched on yet?
No, I wouldn't say that they haven't touched, but I will say this: there is, in my opinion. Now, this is just an opinion; it's not fact or fiction or whatever. You can hate it or love it, but there is a clear difference between the men's hell or the men's elimination chamber and the women's elimination chamber. When I watch the women wrestle in the elimination chamber, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are times you can truly tell these people aren't out to hurt one another. Like whether it's flipping them over on the steel gurney or whatever. There is things that they do that you can tell that they're just a little ginger with it. I want to say, they're just light to where the guys do. We will flip you on your back and we don't care. And we've seen the welts on them. Like that's the only thing. I maybe wish that they would just be a little bit more rough with it.
Okay.
I mean, dude, it's an elimination chamber. I understand you're women, and I don't want to see women out there getting hurt and all, but it is a chamber. You know what I mean? So maybe just the realism a little bit more for the women's side. But other than that, no, there's no clear match that they haven't done already that we have. You know what I mean?
Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
I mean, everything. I'm trying to
yeah.
think. Steel cage match. Yeah, honestly, the only thing I can think of is I have yet to see women fight in a three stages of hell match, but that seems to be like the type of match that is probably been shelved at this point. The last time we saw something like that was in the ruthless aggression era. It has not been used in the modern day, so that's the only thing I can think of. But at the same time, it probably doesn't count just because it's not an active match type that they use.
Do you? I want to throw something at you. Now, I know this is all fantasy, but I'll tell you what, this would be one hell of a creation if you could do it. Did you ever watch the movie Ready to Rumble
Yeah,
with Sean
absolutely.
William Scott and the wrestling one? I
Yep.
love that movie. Bro, give me a steel cage like you gave them at the end. Give me a big cage with a medium cage with a small fucking cage and the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's inventive. That is fucking inventive. If you can give me a cage that looks like that, bro, my eyes will pop out of my head, my jaw will fucking drop, my tongue will hit the floor, and I'll be like, all right, now we got ourselves a match. Three stages of hell. When you talk three stages of hell, that is three steel fucking cages on top of one another. Like
One
that
hundred
match.
percent.
I
Yeah.
want that, dude. If you sit there and tell me that's too unsafe, bro, are you serious right now? The shit you have these wrestlers do, that's unsafe? No, I'm all for it, bro. Give me a three stage of hell. Seriously.
Oh.
That would be dope as shit. You know it would. You know it fucking would. A
Oh
steel
yeah.
cage on a steel cage on a steel cage, and you gotta climb all the way up to get to it. Oh, fuck that. That'd be awesome.
I remember hearing just bad reviews, bad feedback about that cage. But that's when WCW was doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like if WWE did it, they would find a way to be able to do that the right way.
Right?
because why not, man? Like
That'd be dope, dude.
that
That
would
would
be
be
awesome.
awesome.
I just thought of another match type that women do nowadays. NXT had an all females war games, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
and that's like two rings with basically two cages surrounding it. So
Yeah.
there's no reason why they couldn't do a triple cage stacked up one on top of the other.
Dude, I'm telling you, that shit would be sick. I would pay money to go see that. I would,
Yeah.
because someone's going from the top all the way to the bottom, dude.
Oh
They're
yeah.
mankind in somewhere.
You're just waiting for it the entire time.
Oh,
Just
dude, that
waiting
would be
for it.
awesome.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man, you just got me thinking about that movie right now.
Oh, dude, I gotta go watch it now. I have to. I
Yeah.
will go look it up. I'll find it and I'll watch it. That
Oh
movie
yeah.
is dope, man. He's like, I need a new blueberry sugar slush. What's wrong with that one? Smell it. Yo, that movie was awesome, man.
Dude, there were so many wrestlers in that movie.
It was. No, that was such a great movie. Sal Bandini, want to wrestle?
Yep. Yep.
That
And
was awesome.
like they had Joe Pantoliano sort of like
Yep,
playing his version of like an Eric Bischoff.
yep. They had Kevin Nash in that. They had the Nitro Girls. They had Sinclair. They had oh shit, who else was in that? Dude, they had so many people. It was such a good movie. Oh, Bam, Bigelow Bam, was that his name?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow, Bigelow Bam, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow was in that, dude. That's an old wrestler right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's old school. So yeah, no, there was a bunch of wrestlers in that, man, a bunch, and that was one of my all time favorite wrestling movies. Honestly, it really was.
Sting was in there.
Yep,
Goldberg, Booker T.
yep.
So many people. So many.
So good, dude.
I
When they fucking crashed their shit truck.
Oh yes, I remember that now.
Thank God, I love that smell. Yo, that movie, I'm going to watch it now. That movie's iconic, dude.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's your favorite wrestling movie of all time?
the wrestler.
Yeah,
The
I watched
wrestler.
it. That was a little too serious for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of knew that shit happened in the background. Like what he was talking about, what Mickey Rourke and all them were trying to portray, like with the steroid. I knew that. I didn't need to see that. That was a little too deep for me because I already knew that. And I didn't want to know. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I do understand it. I do understand they wanted you to understand the life of a wrestler, and I get that. But that was a little too deep. A little too
Those
deep.
two movies are just two aren't like two separate ends of a spectrum, man. You
Yeah.
got a wrestling movie that's an all flat out comedy, and
Yep.
then a full on dramatic life of a wrestler drama.
It was too real, honestly. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but he did it so well. I can't say that anything but that. Like he did it so well. That was a really good movie. But I've only ever watched it, I think, once. So
Oh, you should definitely watch it again.
yeah,
Give it another watch. If the only time you watched it was when it first came out, I
yeah.
would say watch it again, fresh eyes, new perspective. You're this age now versus however old you were when it first came out. Like you would probably get a whole new appreciation for it.
I'll try it out. Like, hey man, listen, I've even tried the new Batman 3 times and I still can't get through it. So, I get through it. I Listen, man. The Twilight Kid should never have been Batman. Okay, that's just my opinion. You know, I know you're wearing a Superman shirt, but listen, that kid from Twilight, I forget what his freaking name is. I know it when I know it, but I don't when I need to. But yeah, no. Listen, man. When we portray Batman, that Batman's supposed to be a certain person, and he did not fit it. So, uh, yeah, I don't
Well,
even know why I went there, but
he
anyway.
he played a vampire in Twilight. It kind of seems like it makes sense for him to play a bat in Batman. So
He
the two
didn't
kind
fit
of
the
go hand
mold
in
though, man. You can't go from Christian Bale to that kid. Like, come on, man. Uh,
Man,
that's funny. Anyway, um,
you,
nah, man.
you didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman?
Fuck no. And I'm a big Ben Affleck fan, but Ben Affleck does not need to be around Batman, dude. In fact, you know what? I'll tell you who my favorite Batman is of all time, and you'll probably never guess who it is.
You're gonna tell me it's Val Kilmer?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I love Val as Batman, dude. Val was amazing. Uh, he does not get enough. Val Kilmer and the one right before him, the guy that played Beetlejuice,
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton. Michael
Yeah.
Keaton. I actually let me rephrase. Michael Keaton was my first. Val Kilmer was my second. Michael Keaton was the best Batman. I truly believe.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people give him shit, but I fucking love Michael Keaton as Batman. He
Okay.
played it. He played the rich guy really well, and he played Batman really well. He was believable in both parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
like Christian Bale too, because Christian Bale was believable in both parts. But I
I
hated I
can't
hated
disagree
what's
with
his
you.
face. I hated what's his face though.
George Clooney?
Yes, Clooney sucked at Batman, and I love Clooney. I love Clooney. Now, granted, Clooney had a shitty thing because they were the crappy Batman movies. You know what I mean? Like you can only make them look so good. I mean, hell, even Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's her face couldn't as Venom couldn't, turning it around and make it good. Like there was a lot of big actors in those movies, and they still
Yeah.
suck. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, I did not like that as much. But that's not as much on him, you know.
Right. So
So
my last takeaway
yep,
before we start closing this out,
yeah,
my last takeaway from Monday Night Raw that I want to touch on is our truth.
my dog.
So we got our truth.
Yep,
He came out and cut a promo, and we see him cut his hair. The dude cut his actual hair live TV in front of the entire world,
yep,
and he's basically telling us that I'm no longer our truth. I am Ron Killing,
yep.
and he's gonna start a very serious run now that he's back. So do you think he can pull off a serious character, or
Yes.
will he still be known as just the funny guy?
No, he can pull it off, man. Listen, me and Earl had this conversation last week, and I told Earl, I said, "Listen, man," I said, "What's your grief about it?" He's like, "I just don't know if creative can write it good enough." Okay, and I give that respect to it. Can creative write wrong good enough to make you believe it? That's not the question. Can Ron make you believe it? And that's what I told Earl last week. I said, can Ron make you believe that he went from our truth back to Ron Killings? Because for the last 15 years, all you've known Ron to or our truth to be is the funny guy. He was the guy in the background that kept things going, and we all loved him for it. When he came out Monday night and he cut his hair, first and foremost, I hope somebody got those dreadlocks when he walked away because they're worth money. You know what I mean? If not, that I would have been asking for them if I was up there somewhere around him. Because that was intense. But what I saw Monday night was a guy who literally brought in dual personalities and showed you at one time that he can be both our truth and Ron Killings. And if you know what I mean, when he first walked out there, he started out as our truth. And I told Earl this. I said I really respect him as an actor because it's very hard to sit there and to make people believe that you are a dual personality, you know. And when he went from our truth to Ron Killings, Not only did his voice was he able to change how his voice sounded, but he was able to change his facial expressions to go from R-Truth to Ron. You know what I mean?
Those
He
little things.
sold it. Yes,
Yeah.
he sold the little things to make you believe that he was able to be serious again. Fuck yes, R-Truth can pull this off. Because I just watched the man pull the shittiest gimmick for the last 15 years and do it to no one else. No one else could have done it like him. You know what I mean? No one else. I can't think of 15 years where I haven't laughed because of R-Truth. He took the shittiest gimmick and made it his own and went with it and ran with it, and he never turned back and he never bitched about it. You know?
So
Now he
to
gets to be who he was in TNA and NXT and stuff. He gets to be that guy again. And I told you from the get, bro, he will be the one to dethrone Cena. He will be. I promise you. Watch. It's going to happen. Our
all
truth
right.
is going to stop Cena.
All right.
That's what they're setting up for.
Okay. So let's break this down. So you
Yep.
got Ron Killings now, not
Mm.
our truth, Ron Killings. So what changes need to be made in order for this persona to really strike hard, right? One thing I can think of is, I don't know if you would agree or not. Maybe when you start coming out walking down the ramp to the ring, uh maybe not rapping your own entrance theme.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to cut that out. Um, the "What's up" chant to the crowd. Maybe you need to stop doing that. Make it as serious. He's a badass fighter coming to kick your ass and take titles. Right. Those are the two things I can think of off the top of my head. No rapping your own entrance theme on your way to the ring, and no "What's up" chance.
Let me throw this at you. I believe that you can have a little bit of our truth with a little bit of wrong killings. I believe you can keep both gimmicks at one time but still stay serious. And here's what I'm talking about. Our truth in a dry humor. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be funny while being serious. Think about Jason Bateman. You know who Jason Bateman is,
Yes,
right?
of course.
As an actor, he's one of the most funniest actors in all of Hollywood, and he does it with a straight face. He really does. Very seldom do you see him being funny. He's serious funny. That's what our truth needs to be able to hit within himself. Can he be serious funny? There's no reason to lose our truth and also lose Ron Killings. You can have the best of both. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out if he's going to be able to find that within himself. Can you still be the funny guy while still being serious? And if he can do that, bro, the sky's the limit. I don't think you have to stop being our truth, but you do have to start being serious.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. If he needed to incorporate parts and pieces of our truth, if anyone can do it, it would be Ron Killings.
Sam, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, how about a different move set? Should we see a different move set from him?
Yeah, I'd like him to stop doing splits because I don't want him to tear his groin and be out for like 6 months. You know,
Yeah,
he
he
is
he does that,
56.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he is 56, and I feel like if you jump in the air and do a few more splits, bro, you're going to tear your groin. So I'd probably stop doing that. You know, I'd like Ron to be around as much as possible. And I'm sorry, man, I can't do a split at 38. So you doing them at 52, that's outstanding. You know, like I'm sure you've never even been able to do one. So it's just like
No.
that's outstanding. But dude, you're 52. You know, just ease up on the splits a little bit.
What's up, Mac? Glad you
That's
can
good, man.
stop in, man. Raph, you got something going on here. I'm watching your show while my house is flooded and I have no electricity for hours. Yeah, that
Yep, that
sucks.
sucks. Well, I'm glad we could bring a little bit of positivity to your life, Raph. Man, I'm sorry that your house got flooded right now, man. That so that means it's raining like cat and dogs right now wherever you're at. Thank God
Oh,
it's not here, but I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hope everyone's safe. Hope your house is okay. Hope nothing got ruined too bad. You know.
yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed
Hopefully
for
you
you,
have
man.
flood insurance. Oh Jesus, my dog. Sorry. He's so vicious, dude.
Oh, we've had times where we had some dogs in the world of professional wrestling. It's never all. It's never
Yeah,
been the greatest thing when you involve animals in there. The first
yeah.
one that comes to mind is Big Show and Big Boss Man. No, 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 not Big Show and Big Boss Man. It was Big Boss Man and Al Snow.
You want to see my dog? Okay, I'll show you my dog. Come here, Teddy. Teddy, come here. This is my puppy. He's 5 months old. He's a Bichon. His name
Look
is
at
Teddy.
that pup.
Yeah, he's a Bichon. He don't get any bigger for the most part. But this is Teddy. He's my puppy. He's my daughter's puppy, actually. I bought him for her ninth birthday because she wanted a puppy. So he's 5 months old. He's my buddy.
Look at that guy.
But yeah, he's a beautiful puppy.
Oh yeah.
He booty. He's my buddy. He sleeps with me at night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, he's a good therapy puppy, man. After everything I've been through, it's nice to have a dog, and it's cool too because at nighttime, whenever I lay on the couch and shit and go to sleep, he'll crawl up and lay right here on my neck,
Yeah.
just right across it, and it feels so good, man. I don't know. No,
Do
he's a
you
good dog. I love him
does he does he lick your face
all the
to
time.
wake you up? Yeah.
Dude, whenever he lays down at night, he lays on his back with his feet in the air. I was like, that's how you know he feels safe. Like
Yeah.
he's always laying on his back. He never lays on his stomach, nothing. He's just feet up in the air, gone. I love him.
Well, I can't think of a better way to close this out than seeing that pup Teddy, man.
I have two, and then I even have rabbits.
Oh
Believe it or
wow.
not. Yeah, I have four rabbits. My female rabbit actually just had bunnies. They're little tiny babies. So, but yeah, I got three males and one female, and yeah, no, we're animal lovers, man. Here, I love animals. We have two cats. They stay outside, and Lucy's awesome. Yeah, no, cats are awesome, man. I love cats. They keep mice away. They only want love when they want it. They're not like dogs. They will only come around when they want you to love on them, and then they disappear, and you don't see them for a while. Where dogs, they just love me, love me, love me all the time. But I don't mind it. Um, I am a dog person over cats, but I love my cats just as much.
Wow. You got a whole farm or whole zoo of animals over there, man.
Yeah, in fact, today I just noticed that my rabbit was getting out, so I opened up the door and let him go. And no lie, man, he's a free roaming rabbit today. He's just been around the yard, and I looked out here earlier. He's back in his pen. He knows where he gets fed. He's not dumb. Yeah, no, cats do own you, man. You're their property. So dogs are different like that. Now the only thing I will say is he irritates me because he is a puppy. So when I call him, uh, he doesn't come sometimes, and that pisses me off. That was one thing I hate about cats. When you call a cat, they don't come. You
No,
know,
they don't.
they mind their own business, and then that's cool. But usually when I want you to come and visit me, I want you to come. So I
Right.
got a dog, and when he started not coming, I was like, dude, if I wanted that, I'd just get the cat again. So no, he's getting better though. I love him. He's awesome. He is a Bichon.
Bichon.
Yep.
I have three pups. I have an American Eskimo, a Keeshond, and then I got a mutt. We did a DNA test, and the he's 20% Australian cattle dog, and then everything else is just a whole mix of so many different things.
Half time. Wait. What did you say your second one was?
A Keeshond.
So that's a Bichon with a what?
Uh no, it's not. It's not a mixture. Like there, it's a purebred Keeshond.
What the fuck's a Quichon?
You're gonna have to Google this one.
I am going to have to. I've never heard of a Quichon before.
Yeah, it's a Keeshond. Keeshond
Is
with a
he
K.
around? Can you see? Can I see him?
Nope, they're upstairs
Okay. Next week.
next
I
week.
want to see him next week because I've never seen one, dude. Never,
No,
ever.
all right,
I've never even heard of a Quichon.
all right.
Truly, I.
We're gonna have to. I'll have to put that on my to do list
All
for
right.
next week.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Reminder, this little email right here, if you want to email us, give us any kind of feedback, you want to ask us any professional wrestling related questions, the email is hottakesandheadlocks@gmail.com.
Butterfly loves her animals. Go get him.
Go
We'll wait.
get them. We will wait. All right. I'll go get them.
All right.
Wow.
All right. All right. Yeah, we are pet friendly here on this channel, man. I love my pets. I love my dog. I love my rabbits. Um, I'm deciding whether or not I want to dabble in exotics a little bit. I've always wanted a koala bear. Truly, I have. Um, I don't know what it is about koalas, but I've always wanted one. Um, I've always wanted a white tiger too. Oh my god, that is a big dog. That's a big dog, bro. I didn't think he'd be that big.
Medium sized dog right here. This is
Oh,
Scott.
he's so cute. Look at his face. That is adorable, dude.
Say hi, Sky.
That is so cool. I love his black face, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah, mixture. She's got a black face, but like her coat, everything else is all gray.
That is beautiful. I've never seen that dog before, bro. That is awesome.
And then I got my mutt here, Bruce. What's up, Bruce? Bruce wants some attention right now. But yeah, three pups over here. You want?
Yeah, no, I get koalas are mean, Mac, but listen, man. Look, if it's not a koala, I gotta go with a sloth. I'm sorry, dude. I was telling them while you were going about exotic animals, some exotics that I would love to own. Koala being one, and I would love to own a sloth, man. I think sloths are awesome.
I've never seen one in person before.
A sloth?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're so fucking cute. They move so slow too.
Yeah.
It is so good, dude. They're awesome. Yeah, no, sloths are awesome. So yeah, that's our dogs. That's our little family that we have. Maybe I'll show my bunnies next week. Uh, but yeah, man.
Ugh. All right. So we're gonna leave it there. We'll see you guys again next Thursday. I know we started a little late this time. We
My
had
bad.
some, yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties on our end, network issues, but we have it all set up. We're gonna be working right on time next week. Catch us next time, next Thursday, 9 o'clock. Again, the email is hottakesandheadlocks@gmail.com.
That way. Yeah, that way.
Yeah, there you go. AK,
So
thanks for joining us, man. Really appreciate it.
it's no problem, man. I enjoy doing this with you. I enjoy talking wrestling. So yeah, man. Appreciate everyone who's been in the chat tonight, who's been here talking, and yeah. Until next week, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.